Now, this way we are going to discuss theories of reaction rates. There are two theories of reaction rates. First one is collision theory and second one is activated complex theory or transition state theory. We have to discuss one by one. First one is, then we are looking about collision theory. This theory is based on the kinetic theory of gases. According to this theory, the molecules of a gas are continuously moving, hence colliding with each other. But only collision means collide like this. म्हणजे धडकणे, एकमेकाला धडकणे त्याला आपण टक्कर म्हणतो. But only collision is not the sufficient cause for the reaction. म्हणजे नुसते मॉलिक्युल्स ट्राय करून त्या धडकून फक्त रिएक्शन होणार नाही. Means but only collision is not the sufficient cause for the reaction, because if collision is the sufficient cause for the reaction, then the rate of reaction should equal the rate of collision. However, it is found that the number of molecules colliding exceeds the number of molecules undergoing change. Again, it is observed that all collisions are not effective. Means number of molecules जेवढे आहेत तेवढे प्रॉडक्ट मध्ये मिळतील असं काय नाही, का त्यांची रिएक्शन असं काय नाही. Again, it is observed that all collisions are not effective in producing chemical change. It means some of the collisions leads to reaction. To account for this fact, Arrhenius, the name of scientist, suggested that before a molecular collision can result into products, the colliding molecules must be activated by absorption of certain minimum amount of energy called as energy of activation. So they can pass over an activation energy barrier existing between reactants and products. Diagrammatically, it can be shown like this. Along x-axis, reaction coordinates, and along y-axis there is a potential energy. The curve is like this. This is reactants, here products, and this is the energy of activation. The difference between this is the energy of activation. If two reacting molecules collide with insufficient energy, just listen, if two reacting molecules collide with insufficient energy, they cannot pass over an activation energy barrier, and hence their collision will not be. This is the activation energy barrier. This state is the activation energy barrier. That is minimum energy will required to carry out the reaction. Once again, if two reacting molecules collide with insufficient energy, they cannot pass over an activation energy barrier, and hence their collision will not be fruitful. However, if two reacting molecules collide with sufficient energy, they can pass over an activation energy barrier and the activated molecules will react to form the products, and it can be shown diagrammatically as, that is, molecule of A2. This is the molecule of A2. This is the molecule of B2. आपण डिफरन्सने दाखवते तर रिझन एकच की हे मॉलिक्यूल ए आहे आणि मॉलिक्यूल बी आहे. साइजचे आपल्याला काय घेणे देणे नाही. When these two molecules collide with each other, when these two molecules collide with each other, to get the step second, the size of the molecule is same like this: B, B, A, A. When collision of molecule takes place, they try to separate out. That is, reaction takes place, and it can be shown like this. That is, in this way, we can show collision between two molecules with sufficient energy can pass activation energy barrier and to form the products like this. It can also be shown as, that is, molecules are separated in this way, not in this way, because the original molecule is like this and these molecules are separated like this. A molecule B2 here, where two molecules collide with each other to form this state, and finally it separates out like this. This minimum energy or threshold energy necessary to allow a reaction to occur is called the energy of activation. Means energy of activation represents the number of molecules or the minimum energy. The energy of activation represents the minimum energy required for the reaction between molecules or for the collision between molecules to be effective. म्हणजे तुम्हाला डेफिनेशन जर विचार तर सांगता आलं पाहिजे. minimum energy necessary to allow a reaction to occur is called the energy of activation. Minimum energy necessary to allow a reaction to occur is called the energy of activation. The energy of activation represents the minimum energy required for the collision between molecules to be effective. And then next step, the magnitude of PA depends upon the nature of reactants. The magnitude of PA depends upon the nature of reactions. The reactions having high energy of activation, look at this, the reactions having high energy of activation are found to be slow because some of the molecules have, or small number of molecules have sufficient kinetic energy to produce required E. The reactions having high energy of activation are found to be slow because small number of molecules have sufficient kinetic energy to produce small number of molecules have sufficient kinetic energy to produce required air. And the reactions having low energy of activation are found to be fast. म्हणजे एनर्जी ऑफ एक्टिवेशन हाय असेल तर रिएक्शन इज स्लो, एनर्जी ऑफ एक्टिवेशन लो जर असेल तर रिएक्शन इज फास्ट, बिकॉज लार्ज नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स have sufficient kinetic energy to produce required air. And the last point of this theory is that when the temperature is increased, the added heat increases the energy of gas molecules as well as the proportion of molecules. Hence, the rate of reaction increases with increasing temperature as the proportion of molecules increases. In any collection of molecules, as or their energy or there is distribution of energies at two different temperatures. In general आपण सांगतो, ऍक्च्युली थिअरीचा पार्ट इथे संपून जातो. In any collection of energy there is distribution of energies at two different energies. हे सुद्धा तुम्हाला दाखवता येईल. म्हणजे you can draw or plot the graph like this. In this case, suppose the nature of the graph is like this. This is at temperature T1. At temperature T2, the nature of graph is like this. That is distribution of energy. This temperature is T. In this case, T2 is greater than T1. Means in this theory, without going to transition state, the reaction takes place. In this way, we can explain this theory, that is the theory of first theory of reaction rate, that is collision theory. Okay, thank you.